In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I would export my videos in HDR for YouTube. Now, it's quite simple in Premiere Pro, but let's just go and get started on how you can make your sequence in HDR and how you would edit your clips in HDR. So let's just get started. Now, ideally, you want to be in a dark room or at least just turn off your lights so that you can color grade properly in HDR. You would see a lot of brightness and it would just pretty much allow you to correct brightness in some sort of way without any reflection going on. And now, ideally, you would want to be in HDR mode. So I'm going to show you how you can do that. You can just go to HDR settings. What you could do is to just enable HDR. If your monitor doesn't support HDR, that's fine. Although you won't be seeing the goodness of the HDR. Now, I have HDR on, and make sure on Premiere Pro, go to limit your color, go to settings, and go to preferences, and make sure to check both of these so that you would be able to see the HDR and to make sure Premiere Pro knows that you're working with the color space that your Windows have or has. If that makes any sense. Once you got Premiere Pro and your room properly set up, let's go and get started. So let's go to Premiere Pro. So obviously first make a brand new project, create, like so, just skip this. Then after that, I would like to go to a thing with Apple Log or Sony S-Log. Make sure your videos do have high dynamic range or else it would not work. Well, Premiere Pro has tone mapping, but it won't be as good as native HDR video. Okay, so I got here an Apple Log video, so I'm just gonna go drag it in like so. I'm gonna go put it on the timeline to make a brand new sequence. I'm gonna be setting this first to 4K at least, so that I won't be a huge toll on my computer. Like so. Click on OK. And now, what do I do? It's on grayscale. It looks quite flat. I wonder why. Well, because it's using the log video color space. Now, we typically record in professional workflows. We typically record at log so that it allows the colors to be whatever they like. So it gives you more flexibility because it allows you to adjust the exposure way more easily and while retaining the low and high details, or the darkest and the brightest details. So how do you fix this? Well, luckily in Premiere Pro, there's this thing called a color space transform. So we do have existing LUTs inside of Premiere Pro already. What we could do is just go to the limit your color tab, go to settings right over here, then go down and go to the source clip. Make sure to select your clip, override media color space, and set it to Apple Log. Or if you're using a Sony camera, you do have the option here, Sony S-Log 3, S-Gamma 3 Cine, depending on the camera profile that you used. So I used Apple Log right over here. Bada bing, bada boom. It looks quite right. But the thing is, this is not on HDR. What we could do to make the sequence in HDR is to go to the sequence settings right over here. Sequence settings, color management, color setup. Make sure this is on direct PQ HDR and set this to Rec 2100 PQ, which is the right format for YouTube and everything else, and click on OK. And now this is on HDR. You would see your lumetri scopes change to 1K, 110, and 0, and that is basically measured in nits. Which is a great thing. So now we can actually adjust anything that we want. So you can do exposure work. You can see it's properly on HDR. But what we don't like to do is to go exceed the 1K ratio over here. Because if you exceed that, it would just look blown out. So that's the point of HDR. It does allow you to go further than it, but it won't. It would look terrible on YouTube and other platforms because it doesn't support that. It only supports up to 1000 nits. Now you can edit videos. So if I'd like to cut in here, I would like to cut in here, I could do that. Just typically a normal video in Premiere Pro on HDR. So what I would like to do now is to export my finished video, my polished video. What I can do is just go to File, Export, go to Media, and after that, just follow me along. Make sure this is on H.265 or else it won't show the 10-bit color that your camera has. Go to Video. Make sure this is on the actual resolution that your sequence is set to. Make sure that's also the same. Go to More. go to frame sampling, render at maximum depth, use maximum render quality right there. Hardware encoding, we would want that, but the profile in here should be set to main 10 so that it could output 10-bit video. Tier, make sure this is high. Export color space, make sure this is Rec 2100 PQ, like so, and make sure it includes HDR 10 metadata so that it has this dynamic tone mapping. Color primaries, I would love this to be Rec 2020 so that YouTube supports it even more. And for VBR, I'm gonna go and set this to about 75. So 75, oops, that's not 775, it's too much. Like so, and do higher. And now we are back to software encoding, but that's pretty much fine because my NVIDIA GPU isn't capable of exporting this kind of video. So what I can do now is to just name this video HDR grade. I'm just gonna go ahead and put an in and out point in here so that it wouldn't take like decades to export. And bada bing bada boom, just go export and that'll be your finished HDR video. Normally you could just upload this to YouTube, but you can pretty much distribute this anywhere that you want it to be. So yeah, so that's the video itself. And yeah, this is gonna be the final video. So hopefully this guide helped you out in many ways. So this is the first time that I'm gonna be doing video in HDR, which is neat. I don't like doing it in Davinci Resolve anymore because it's just quite complicated and it just looks terrible because I don't have an HDR capable monitor. I mean, this is HDR capable, although it's not true HDR, so I cannot really properly color grade in it, and I would need a separate monitor and a bunch of gear to actually show how you can grade in HDR. But for Premiere, it simplifies the process, and it's quite good for my needs already, so I won't need that much now. And yeah, hopefully this helped you out in numerous ways. And yeah, that's basically how I would edit a video in HDR in Premiere Pro, other than Davinci Resolve. Davinci Resolve, that's another story. We're going to be using ACEScct there. Now you might say, why not Davinci, why RGB? Well, ACEScct just simplifies the process and it's true HDR. So what could I say? And yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. This is really large. 9 gigabytes is crazy. But yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.